Hello, this is Chris from the Cinema Savvy Movie Podcast, and we've got another one again. This is Star Wars: The Force Awakens TV Spot 6. I think I've numbered them a bit weirdly in our list of videos because I think I missed a few. There was a few that came out that were only about 10, 16 seconds long, something like that, so I've skipped over those ones because those ones tended to not show as much new footage, but Tate sent me a message earlier. I was coming back from work on the bus, and he said there's a new one up, new footage, reveals quite a lot more, so we're going to give it a watch. I'm going to give my reactions again. I know that the Star Wars ones have been pretty popular on the channel, and I love doing them, so, make sure you keep commenting. Let me know if you want to see more, and I'll do more, but right now, we're going to watch this TV Spot 6 together. I'm going to give my thoughts on it, and we'll see what's new. So, I'm going to click now.
You don't know a thing about me. What I've seen. We all need to run.
Hope is not lost today. You must face them.
Oh.
Fight them.
Sure you're up for this? Hell no. Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Okay, yeah, no, we got quite a lot of new footage in that one. And again, I've said this in every single one, so I'm going to keep it brief this time. I do feel like it's too much now, like the footage. They've gone way overboard. I could have done without all of these TV spots. Just leave it at the trailers. We know it's going to be good because it's we hope it's going to be good because it's Star Wars. I mean, I know the prequels came out, and that's a bit of a debate, but we're going to go through the footage now, the new stuff. I'm going to give my thoughts on it, my speculation, and stuff like that. So, I'm just watching it. You don't know a thing about me. This is John Boyega speaking to the character of Finn. He's in the leather jacket here, so this isn't like towards the start, because I think the film's going to start off where he's dressed as a stormtrooper and something happens, or he's forced to do something while he's on the Star Destroyer at the start. He'll decide to defect or flee, and he'll get shot down, and that's when he crashes on Jakku. But let's see again what he says here.
You know a thing about me. What I've seen.
Okay, so how the trailer's edited. Again, this could just be editing, but when he says, you don't know... Hang on.
About me. What I've seen.
What I've seen. So that implies that he's seen something bad. Something bad's happened to him, which is a lot of people's speculation. He's going to be, as I said, forced to do something. He's going to see something he's not proud of. And Tate pointed this out. I think it was in our discussion that we did of the international trailer, or possibly trailer 3. He said that you can see a bloody handprint on his helmet. And if you go to 4 seconds in the trailer, just as he's taking the helmet off, you can see, like, finger marks on the mask. So I think that he's going to kill someone. And then that is going to be what shakes him up. Then he'll take off the helmet. And I think there was another shot in the trailers where he's sort of looking down and breathing heavy. Although he does that a lot in the trailers. But I think he's going to be forced to do something here. And this sort of almost cements that idea in my head because of how... the choice of dialogue that he just said there. So let's carry on watching.
We all need to run.
Yeah, we all need to run. I think he's going to be trying to rally people to go with him. No one's going to want to join him. Maybe it's the heat of battle. Or, again, this could be another line that doesn't appear in the same line of dialogue, but how it's edited, it's made to look like it is. I think that 8 seconds into the trailer... This is a little bit of an extended shot. So we've saw this one in the previous one where Rey is looking at the temple getting blown up and as it's collapsing. And by the looks of it in this trailer, if we go to 8 seconds, you can see the wing of an aircraft coming on. Now, I think they're called Imperial shuttles. They sort of look like the one that Vader arrived in at the beginning of Return of the Jedi. Where the wings sort of like are folded down like that, and as it lands it sort of like folds up. And I think we saw this in one of the trailers. I think this is Kylo Ren's personal shuttle, and if it is, this again looks like it will carry into the bit where Kylo Ren lands on the ground, and that'll be where he meets up with Ren Ray, sorry, in the forest where he squares off against her, because that looks like the same location to me. Let's carry on watching.
Is not lost.
Then, now I think this shot came out before, but I haven't watched it. I think they did a behind the scenes video. It's 9 seconds in the trailer, and it's Finn looking up shocked at what looks like he's in a factory. There's like yellow sort of oil covered doors, and it looks very sort of industrial, so he must be in some kind of factory here, so that's pretty cool. We haven't seen that before. 11 seconds in, we sort of see Kylo Ren just standing there with the stormtroopers surveying the damage, so that's going to be after they destroy the temple. Maybe he was hoping to find the characters, the main characters, and he couldn't find them. I'm just going to carry on watching a little bit more.
Hope is not lost today. You must face them.
That sounds like Maz Kanata's voice again. She's been getting a lot of voiceover in these TV spots. She didn't really get much attention in the trailers, I don't think. I think she only got some dialogue in the final trailer, and that was it. So they're starting to build her character up a little bit more now. 12 seconds in, we get a new shot of the Falcon flying. This looks like it's in the big chase over Jakku that we've seen before, with the TIE fighters chasing them. What it looks like in the trailer is you've got the big engine, the hollowed out engine of the Star Destroyer, and the Falcon sort of like curving round to look like it's eventually going to drive through it, that we've seen in the second trailer that came out. Now the big one I want to talk about starts 13 seconds in, where this Stormtrooper brings out a new weapon to the Star Wars franchise that we haven't seen before. The only way I can describe it, I think they're called Magna Guards. It was the sort of henchmen, the bodyguards of General Grievous with the purple electro staff things. Looks very similar to that, but this almost comes out like a police truncheon, electrified. Pretty cool, very Star Warsy, nice to see, and it will also be cool to see a Stormtrooper go toe to toe with a Jedi, a lightsaber wielding character. Usually, I mean, if any of you have played the Force Awakens video games, you know how easy it is when you're just hacking through Stormtroopers. So if we can see them putting up a bit more of a fight in this one, maybe not going down as easy, maybe being able to hit targets this time with the blasters, that'd be cool to see as well. So let's give this another watch. Fight them. So we get another shot of Rey. We get a cool shot of Finn holding the blue lightsaber, sort of indicative of the one where he's on the poster on the I think it was the Drew Struzan poster, where he's sort of off to the side holding the lightsaber. That's cool. I don't actually think he's going to be the Jedi character of this new episode or series. I think Rey's probably going to be the main focus. Whether Finn will get killed at the end of this one, or maybe he'll decide to put down the lightsaber or pass it to her because he thinks that she's more worthy. I think in this one he just sort of gets a hold of it, doesn't know how to use it. Maybe he's a little Force sensitive and can wield it a little bit. But he does look very clumsy with it. Just looks like he's trying to make a difference, trying to use this weapon. Maybe he doesn't know about the history of this weapon, and eventually he'll discover that it's Luke's, and maybe Luke will get it back at the end, or we don't know. I want to know how they get a hold of this, because if anyone knows their Star Wars, they know that this particular lightsaber, and they've confirmed that it is the one that Luke had in Empire Strikes Back, was the one where Vader lobs his hand off and it falls down the pit in Bespin. So I hope they have a good reason as to how that got back. I remember, this isn't so much a spoiler because I don't think this has been confirmed. I don't think this is how the film will start up at all. But when I was following the early pre-production of the film, there were a lot of rumours that the opening shot of the film after the credits went up is going to be the camera panning down and Luke's severed hand with the lightsaber is going to be like floating through space, hit the atmosphere, and crash land on Jakku, and that's where Finn will find it. I really hope that's not true, because to me that sounds so dumb. Like the hand would burn up in the atmosphere and everything like that. I like to think that maybe So I don't know, maybe Kylo Ren's found it, because we know that he's trying to find relics, and we know that this was Anakin's lightsaber, so we know he's a Vader fanboy, for want of a better word. So maybe he's trying to find stuff that links to that. I don't know. It's all speculation at the minute, but I think it's fun to think about these things. Carry on watching it some more. Here we go. We see Finn fighting this lightsaber, fighting with his lightsaber against this stormtrooper. I'm wondering, because there seems to be no one else around, and it seems very unlikely that just one stormtrooper would have a weapon like this, because it seems like pretty decent tech. I'm wondering if this is someone he knew on the Star Destroyer at the start, because we know that Finn's starts off as a stormtrooper, so we know he had colleagues, and he had people he worked with. I'm wondering if this is someone he knew, who he was probably friends with, and this friend doesn't like the fact that he's turned to the good side, and he is no longer part of the First Order. So maybe there's a sort of rivalry here between friends. That would be a cool angle to explore. It just looks like a sort of a boss fight. You know, there's just the Stormtrooper and Finn, and they're fighting. And I think that's going to be cool. I think that when he's talking at the start, and it's like, we've all got to get out of here, which is at the start of this TV spot, I think he's probably talking to this guy, maybe. I think this might be sort of a big stormtrooper that we haven't seen. Whether he'll be unmasked, because obviously all the cast's been announced that we know of so far, and there's no sort of role for another friend character like this, so maybe it is just a random stormtrooper. But I like to think that there'll be more of a connection there between Finn and the people he worked with. So we see him fighting there. More Falcon flying. Never get tired of that. Falcon's classic.
Sure you're up for this?
Okay. Now we see Han with Finn and Chewie on the right hand side saying, "You ready for this?" And Finn says, "For what?" It looks very, very classic Star Wars, which I like. You've got the panels just behind Han that look like something straight out of the Death Star. Maybe this is where they're in Starkiller Base. I mean, if you go sort of with colours in films and framing of shots, there's a lot of dark colours. There's a lot of like deep blues. There's lots of reds. Almost looks like a laser field in front. So this looks very sort of villainous. I mean, even with like, you know, the Sith, the dark side, the red lightsabers. So it looks like they're trying to sneak into some kind of base. And again, I've been talking about this loads before, but one of my concerns with the film is that it's going to rely too heavily on the plot points of A New Hope. We know that someone crashes on a desert planet. We know that they've got some kind of artifact and they meet up with the gang and, you know, go on the adventure from there. So if this is breaking into, like, the new Death Star, it's a bit too close, I think, to A New Hope. But we'll see. Maybe it'll surprise us. So we keep going through the video. We get a really bizarre but funny shot of BB-8 sort of doing a 360 around the archway entrance to the Falcon. My only guess here is it's the bit in the first trailer, the teaser trailer we got, where the final shot is sort of like the Falcon and the camera moves with it. Maybe it's during that. I'm assuming it's going to be during that initial escape. And because they twist, maybe BB-8 just sort of goes round for a little bit of comic relief. I love BB-8. I hope he doesn't end up being incredibly annoying, but he looks absolutely adorable from what I've seen of, like, you know, the toys and from the trailers and his voice, everything like that. So BB-8's definitely my favourite new character, I think.
Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
And yeah, so that's all the new footage. We see a lot more of Finn in this one. I think this one definitely bigs up Finn a lot more than probably the others did. Gives a little bit of insight into what his past might be. We get to see him fight, so we know he can handle himself in a fight. Yeah. I know that my outros to these videos are always exactly the same, but I don't want any more. 6 is usually the cap point, I think, on TV spots. Maybe with Star Wars they'll push it some more, but I know a lot of people at this stage are sort of getting to the stage where they don't want to see any more. And even some feel like they've seen too much. I know for a fact they released Entertainment Weekly released some new images. I personally haven't seen those images yet, but I saw people, and George as well dropped me a message, said don't look at them if you don't want any hardcore spoilers or sort of things that sort of give credence to initial ideas that people thought about. Don't look at them. So I haven't. I know that probably some of them gave character pasts away or sort of plot points, so you can connect the dots more throughout the film. I'm not going to give those a watch or a look because I don't want massive spoilers. If they release it like this, like trailers, then I'll keep watching them. I mean, I love doing these reactions as well. We've got some great commenters that, you know, really regular with the Star Wars ones, so I like to keep the Star Wars ones up. But yeah, you know, I just, this film was so cleverly marketed up until about a month ago, and then we got the third trailer, which was where it should have stopped. All these TV spots, behind the scenes, extra clips. Doesn't need them. It really doesn't need them, but hopefully Disney leave it there now. They probably won't, but hopefully they do. And we've got about a month now to wait until the movie, month or just under, so not long to wait. We can make it all as Star Wars fans. So that'll do it for my reaction. If you liked it, be sure to rate, like, comment, subscribe. We bring you film reviews, old and new films. We've got our review of The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 coming up in a few days. And as I said, if you like these reactions, let me know in the comments. Let me know anything you'd like me to react to, any trailers that came out. I know there was one came out a few days called Gods of Egypt. I haven't given that one a watch myself, so if people would like a reaction on that, I can do that, because the Star Wars stuff's great, but maybe people would like to see something else. So your thoughts, let me know in the comments below, and yeah, that'll do it. Thanks, guys.